We're going to try to create our first SVG, and it's kind of simple if you just want to create something as basic as a circle, and a bit more advanced when we want to use the videos and so on with the text and everything. But to start, just type SVG inside our bracket here, so greater than and SVG, and in here we're just going to give it some value so it knows where to go. So we're going to give it a value of 50 in width, and we're going to give it a height as well. So right now we're doing we're ending up with doing some kind of math you've been doing for a long time. So that's the basics. 50-50. We want to make a circle here, so it looks like this. And inside this is just telling the size of our, let's call it our canvas, or where we're going to be building stuff. So kind of like a div block, so it has a width and a height, and that's kind of what we're explaining to the system here. And inside this block we want to create a circle in this case. And now we're going to use the coordination systems, so we're going to use the X and Y, and we're also going to use a radius because we're going to make a circle that's using radiuses. So the first will be CX, so here we are looking at, because it's a circle, and we're using the X for that coordination, and we're going to give it a width as well, not a width, a position. So let's start with, let's just go 10 in this case, and we can check out what it actually does later. And we're going to do the same with CY, and we're going to give this 20 so we can see the difference, and we're going to give it a radius, so how big the circle should be. So we're also going to give it 15 to make something strange, and then we're going to give it a stroke. That's the line around, and we're going to give it blue. Now let's go red, and we're going to give it a stroke width, so how fat the line is that goes around. It's 2, and remember these double apostrophes when we start writing values to them. And the last one will be the fill of the actual circle, so red, and let's just go yellow like this, and let's end this and make sure that you end it in the correct way. So yellow space and then a slash here. You don't need to end the circle. Oopsie daisy, sorry, I need to do this. You don't need to create a new one called circle over here like it just tried. That's not how it works. You need to end your HTML tag like you do when you use an image. So inside the HTML element you actually end it here, and that's enough for that to know. So let's click save and try to our browser and see if it goes down here. So you can see now this little yellow Spanish colored circle is now here, but right now it's being cut off because of the div block goes from here to here. But we can move it around using this X and Y axis. So if I add more to this 20, it should be moved a little bit more in here because we're moving it along the X axis. I can also go negative, and the same up here. If I only add 10 for the CY, it goes up, more it goes down, and so on. But I can also do negative values here, so it actually disappears beneath it. And again, the radius is just how big the circle are in this case. So two things to take from this is, one, we're creating an element, an HTML element, where we're using the SVG tag to tell the system now we're going to create something, and then we're telling it inside this HTML tag what we're creating and the style, sizes, and what it's going to do and have, and so on. And the fill over here is just the color yellow in this case, but you can also use, we'll get that to that, but this is where you'll put in images and so on. But that's for the next videos.